Hello everybody, Adriana here. So welcome to Wednesday session where we're talking today about cravings. So I'd really love to hear from you. What are your cravings like? Post in the comments below. Do give me a shout so I can respond to you later on, especially if you're watching this video later on. Let me just turn this comments if anyone kind of is watching here. But kind of before we start, I'd really love to invite you to come to join in my 5-day free feel good challenge that is starting on 23rd of August. I'm just going to pop the link below and you can just click it and just make sure that you join and get the access to the group. So, but today I would really love to talk about cravings. I know that lots of women, myself including, I'll always say before and after. Now I'm kind of in that happy stage, and I really wanted to guide you with the information how to be happy. It's first understanding your cravings, kind of when they happen, why they happen, and what we can do about it. So our cravings can be down to our emotional and physical state. That can be due to tiredness, stress, lifestyle choices, maybe like no much physical activity, no spending time outdoors, having very poor sleep, drinking coffee all day, or kind of trying to eat food, kind of whatever comes along your way. And kind of, let's say that if you feel like your life is just kind of a bit of out of balance. So also when it comes to your emotions, so our cravings can be directly related to our cravings. Basically, what type of food you are using to feel the calm and to kind of reduce stress, or that kind of helps you to go into what would be the word? It's kind of like to go on autopilot mode. So for me, that was before cakes and biscuits. For some people, it can be crisps. For some people, it can be wine or kind of any type of other drinks, maybe beer. So that's really important. So if you're using to manage your emotions as as your coping strategy, your brain will always send you the signal when you're tired, exhausted, frustrated, or having any emotions, food. So you are automatically going to think, okay, I am craving this type of food and I need to kind of and I need to go and eat that for me to be able to feel my kind of calm and less stressed out. So I would love to talk about kind of 3 habits that can really help you support your cravings. Well, kind of one of the things I really kind of want to just rule out when it comes to the hormonal stage of our cycle. So we all have that probably from the middle of our cycle, so close to our period, we're going to have increased cravings. So, but can we manage that? Because lots of women are thinking, I'm having cravings and I can't control myself and I need to go and eat my chocolate, otherwise, the world will end. So can we do something about it? So first, number 1 is that you are aware of your cycle. I'm tracking mine in the app called Flow. So you can you have the free options. So you put basically your kind of when is your, when your cycle starts. You can also track the symptoms that you're experiencing. That can be due to mood, it can be cravings, it can be, physical changes like breast tenderness, like tummy growling, stomach aches, etc. So when you are basically tracking your symptoms, the app sends you, oh, okay, these are the days where you should be expecting cravings or low mood, and we can affect that. So number 1 that I'd really love and encourage you to really look at your sleep. I know this is like, oh, I'll sleep when I die. I remember that long time ago. So, but you have a direct impact on not kind of when you go to bed, but how long is your sleep? How do you feel when you wake up? Because it's things that I know, talking from my own experience, what women seem to be doing, especially now with juggling, maybe you're working, kids, house, entertaining kids, you simply need time to switch off, and we are using those times in the evening. So I'm talking about when you're kind of putting kids to bed, and if kids are now don't want to go to bed because it's light outside, and if they maybe go to bed like, let's say 8-9 o'clock, I want to ask you, what is the thing that you're doing after that? Do you feel you just kind of want to numb the feeling of exhaustion and what you're doing every single day? Do you go towards food to watch your favorite program, maybe Netflix or maybe Love Island? or you just take your phone and just scroll down through social media. I was doing that. I'm just saying I was doing that for years and years and years until midnight, 1 a.m. So I just want to tell you to look from the perspective trading your sleep for you to kind of make yourself feel better in those evening hours when you're already exhausted. So if you would kind of move to actually go to bed, not to kind of earlier, like I'm going like 8, 9 p.m., but for you to find a time that really works for you, that can be 10 p.m. if you're going to bed 11 or midnight, or just try to move the hour when you go to bed just slightly earlier. And make sure, if you're having trackers these days, everybody's got, most of the people have got Fitbit or some type of trackers that tracks your sleep. So that actually that you see, have you got 7 to 9 hours sleep every single night? This is obviously not going to be talking about parents who are having kids, maybe like newborn or kind of first few years of kids' life. I'm talking about parents who are having kids school age. So do you have 7 to 9 hours? And if you don't have 7 to 9 hours sleep every single night, what can you do about it to actually improve it? Why I'm talking about sleep? Because sleep directly, or insufficient sleep, affects directly your cravings and your food choices the next day. So especially like towards the carbs and high fat foods, and let's say highly palatable foods, because you sometimes feel like, oh my God, I'm actually lacking energy. And what normally we all kind of seem to be doing, grabbing a coffee and just grabbing that chocolate in our mouth, and we simply just feel, oh my God, I'm actually just feeling exhausted. So at that time, obviously kind of a nap would help. But let's say the sleep, number one. Number two is to really focus on having a protein with your meals, which I'm talking about. I don't know, eggs, they're literally done in a minute or two. You have eggs in millions of ways. If you just prepare the breakfast, so kind of rather than completely not thinking about the breakfast and you're just sliding through the day, drinking coffee, and then suddenly midday you're like, oh, I'm so hungry, but I have no time to eat, to prepare anything. So what you end up doing is just grazing throughout the day, and then you crash in the evening. And so protein with every single meal. You have tons of options, like you can buy a cold meat, you can buy already cooked chicken, put it in the fridge, or you can do roast, whole roast chickens. You have it for a few days. You can have ham. You can boil eggs, for days, or you can literally just prepare something that is really, really easy to use to kind of to prepare, let's say, the cold salads, or put something in a sandwich, or maybe get yourself a ready meal, like one meal a day. So if you're really busy, there's Marks and Spencer's, there's Waitrose and Tesco's. They've all got like tons of ready meals. They're like literally between 400-500 calories. It can be a hot meal, but I just really want you to start thinking really outside of the box. You'll say, oh, I don't want to have a ready meal because it has all kind of stuff in it. But what do you do instead? So if you're feeling you're grazing throughout the day and you ended up eating biscuits and chocolate and crisps and just like a random convenient food that you actually doesn't give you the feeling of having a proper meal, then I really think it's kind of worth considering to get a healthy ready meal. There's millions of them now in the market. So we are using Muscle Food. You can use what is it called, Prep Kitchen, and there's as well like just a tons of other stuff, My Fitness Chef, so you can basically just check on them, which you can basically, it's in your kind of in your budget range. So, and then the third one, so we have the first, those three habits. The first one is sleep, the second one is regular protein. I'd really recommend that you have at least the protein in 2 meals per day. And then number 3 is to have 3 regular meals. Why I'm saying that? Because I know that people skip meals. They just completely don't have any routine. Just try to think about, when do you have breakfast, when do you have lunch, and when do you have dinner, and really devote the time for you to sit down and eat food. Why is that important? Because your brain and your stomach recognize, okay, now is the time to eat. So also kind of when it comes to the length in between meals, because I know obviously lots of women that I was working with, there was one really interesting one really interesting situation where my client said to me that she really struggles because she always overeats in the evening. And I just said, so when do you have lunch and when do you have dinner? And she said she's got a lunch at 12 o'clock and then she has a dinner at 7 p.m., which is a huge time, length of time where you should basically have something to eat much, much earlier rather than kind of just having dinner so late. And I also know that people in the UK, they seem to be having dinner really, really late, so 7, 8 p.m. So it's really worth considering because what kind of ideally, what we should all listen is our body signals. It's when we are hungry to actually eat food, and rather than keep pushing that hunger away, and that we actually end up being so hungry that we just seem to be completely losing, our concept of what is enough. So because we kind of went beyond that kind of hunger stage, or basically just seems to be, like the energy goes down. You simply can't feel like. I remember before I was always feeling like I'm actually shutting down. So for you to prevent that, it's really important to look what is actually the time in between your meals, because that is going to give you an insight of the, maybe you can put your meals kind of a little closer together. So let's say 4 to 5 hours in between. If it's anything, so let's say if you feel like you're feeling hungry 3 hours post meal, you're probably not eating enough, and depending as well on what type of food you consume in the meal before. But if you feel, so for example, if you just think, if you are, this is always kind of a great example, if you are having a steak and let's say some veg, just think about how long does it take for you to start feeling hungry again. I know for most people, you'll need a long, long time to kind of start feeling hungry because your stomach takes much longer to digest the protein. Also, the same thing, when you're eating, let's say, a fish, or when you're eating lean meat, or when you're eating eggs. So that would be really kind of worth considering. Anyway, so when it comes to cravings, this is the thing, we shouldn't expect it for it not to happen. We just need to know that it's okay for it to happen, and it's okay to dive into your cravings. But also, it's good to know that there are so many things that you can do to manage it. So if you have got any questions, if you would like maybe to work with me one-to-one and attend my 12-week transformation program, then do please give me a shout, send me a message, or if you're having any questions regarding cravings and emotional eating, then drop in the comments below. I'll speak to you soon, and have a great day. Bye-bye.